guys, it is Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com. So we lost Steve Harwell this week, and I've been getting a lot of requests for this song. So I can't believe I've not done All-Star. It's a massive hit, so overlooked it, but we're gonna take care of that today. We're gonna learn how to do All-Star. So all of Greg Camp's guitar parts, he wrote the song as well too. And so we're gonna kind of go through everything. It's gonna be pretty simple. He's got some nice kind of staccato triads in there, and things move around. And then we're gonna do that midsection where there's like kind of an acoustic comes in, and it gets pretty busy with the guitar part. A little bit more challenging, but it's a lot of fun to play once you get underneath your fingers. All right, now, before I do it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell, helps you know when I release a new video. And if you actually watch the videos, that helps the most of all. And if you really want to support what I do here on YouTube, click that link below. You're going to see a link to my Guitar Academy, which contains all my guitar courses. One subscription gets you full access to all the courses, the entire guitar school, on all platforms. So it's a really fun time. We got a great community. I go live every Saturday just with Academy members, so you can ask me questions every week. So it's a lot of fun. So click that link below and you get a free 7-day trial. All right, let's jump into it. So I'm tuned down a half step. So we are in E flat standard, or D sharp standard, however you want to call it. So the E string is tuned down a half step to either E flat or D sharp, depending on how your tuner reads it. Most likely it's a D sharp. A string tuned down to a G sharp. The D string tuned down to a C sharp. G string tuned down to an F sharp. B string tuned down to an A sharp, and the high E tuned down to a D sharp. So whole thing down a half step. All right, so let's jump into it here. We're gonna start with these kind of basic triads. So start with the G major triad here. So that's gonna be played here at the 3rd fret. You're gonna bar across the high E string and the B string at the 3rd fret. So you got those two strings taken care of, and then you're gonna add the 4th fret there on the G string. So you're gonna hit that chord, and as soon as you hit it, you're gonna release the pressure in the fret hand. That's what makes it kind of stop very quick and mute it very quick. Gives it that very staccato feel. So you might wanna just practice that a little bit if you're not used to that. Get your reggae chops going. All right, so we're basically gonna start with that chord, and then it's gonna come up here. We're gonna keep all these chords are gonna be on these top 3 strings here. The next chord is going to be a D major triad, and that's going to be the 5th fret there on the high E, 7th fret on the B, and 7th fret there on the G. You're going to hit that one twice. So you basically play it, make sure it's muted, and then hit it again. So you might want to practice that muting with that too. Just releasing the pressure. So far we have this. All right, now when I watch Greg play it, he actually does those with upstrokes, which will make it sound a little bit different. So it feels kind of awkward for me to play it with upstrokes, but he does it like that. So he plays it, it looks like the downstroke here, and then the rest of it's just upstrokes for him. I'm sorry, not that. That last two is a little bit delayed. So it's kind of like, so really the first time he plays that first chord, he'll hit that with a down, and then the rest all upstrokes. So just so you know, I want to play it exactly like he does. You won't see me do it exactly like that. I kind of like the downstrokes to be on the downbeat and the upstrokes on the upbeat, but it does sound slightly different when you're going to do upstrokes on those instead of downs. All right, so we have basically the first two, and then we're going to have the next chord, which is just going to be an A minor triad. So it's going to be hit just once. It's a bar from the on the 5th fret from the high E all the way across to the G string. So those 3 strings just bar to the 5th fret. That's an A minor chord or triad. And then we're going to come back here for the last chord, and it's going to be the same shape we did here at the 5th fret, which was a D major chord. But back here at the 3rd fret, it's going to be a C major chord. So it's the 3rd fret on the high E, 5th fret on the B, and the 5th fret on the G. And that one kind of got that kind of more of a reggae feel to it. Kind of on the upbeats. So we have this all together. And then just repeat. So if you're not used to that kind of style of playing with the muting, it's a really great exercise in doing that. And you get to play a cool song. All right, now from there, we do that for a little bit, and then we get to the chorus. We kick in the distortion, so I'm just going to get in some distortion here. And we have this. All right, so you see when at the beginning there, I kind of slid from, I'm doing it like that. It's a weird sound. It's almost like he sounds like he's bending it up, but I think what's going on is he's kind of dragging the note up from the F, this first fret. So you do hear this F sharp, and then it resolves to the G to start the actual chord progression. So that's how I'm playing it. I can't actually get video of him doing this, but it sounds like he's just going start on the first fret and kind of slowly drag up or slide up to this third fret. And once you get to the third fret, then you start playing the chords for the chorus. So it's going to start with a G major chord. I'm playing the G that has the open B string in it. So there's a billion ways you'll see people play this kind of stuff. Like that, whatever. However way it's comfortable, but it's the third fret on the low E, second fret on the A, open D, open G, open B, and then the third fret on the high E. I'm playing it like that. And then from there it goes to a basic C major chord. And then the next chord is a little bit odd. What he does is he shifts up to the fourth fret on the A string, the second fret on the D. And then we have this open G and the open B. And then he goes back down to the C. So it's those chords just kind of repeated. So the G to the C. So after 3 times, you just go to the G, down to an F. So you don't have to really do, it kind of sounds more like just an F. You can hit the third in there if you want, but you really just, F power chord is fine, which is the first fret on the low E, third on the A, third on the D. But if you want to add make it a full major chord, you can add that second fret there on the G. But you don't need the full bar though. And then it resolves back to that C in the chorus. Now, there's a rhythm that they're doing that kind of starts like every 2 chords, they do a little quick little muted down up. So it's like. So I'm kind of just like after the first C. And then you do that back to the C. So after each C, you can do little chuckas. All right, then it goes back to the same verse again. Now, this sounds like there's a guitar line being added here too, where the guitar is going along with the bass to do the bass line there. You can try to do it all together on one guitar part, and it works until the very, very end. But that bass line, so it's the same little, go to the different tone. So it's that same part that we did earlier in the first verse, but this, we have this. So it sounds like there's a second guitar that's added there. So you can choose to do that. If you have another guitar player in your band, you can do that along with the bassist. But it's the third fret on the low E string, and then play 3/5 on the 8. Then play 7/0 on the A. and then go 2, 3. So we have this so far. And then it's gonna hit the 5th fret there on the A, kind of to set you up to go start over. So you can add that if you want, or just continue with it. All right, then it gets back to the same chorus again. And then after the second chorus, we have this kind of little breakdown section. And it's just a very simple thing that's going on guitar, because it looks like this. So it's just basically just the 3rd fret on the low E, then the 3rd fret on the A, then you go 3, 4, and then back to the 3. So simple little bass line. All right, so after that breakdown, it goes to the same chorus that we did before. Nothing new there again. So that's the 3rd chorus. And after the 3rd chorus, I kind of call this next section, because it's really kind of like got the same vibe lyrically and vocally as the verse, but the guitar, what's going on in the guitar is completely different. And it starts out with this, it's kind of an acoustic thing, but there's a bass line that's moving with it too, which I don't know if it's an overdub or if it's done on the bass or like another separate guitar, but this is not that difficult to add to the actual arpeggiated picking. So you're gonna hear all of it here. So I'm not sure if this is all played on one guitar on the original recording, but you can definitely do it. So that's why I'm gonna do that. For the first, that's kind of referring to the first half of this, kind of I call it the verse variation section. So it looks like this. All right, so that's the second half could almost be like a chorus variation, I know, but let's take a look at all of it. So we're gonna start here with this little. So it starts here. Remember, I think I'm putting a couple different parts together here, like the bass line together with the arpeggiated parts, but it works great as just one part. So we have the 3rd fret there on the low E string, the 3rd fret there on the B, then the open G. Then we have that little bass line, which we're going to move over and grab this 3rd fret there on the A, then the open D. So with this. So that takes us, when we hit the open D, that moves us to a D major chord. So the whole first chord is until we get to that. Now from that, you just hold a D major chord and then play after you hit that open D. So after hitting that open D, you'll hit the B string, G, and the high E. So. From there, we're gonna go to the open A string. So you pick the open A, then the 1st fret there on the B, and the open G. And then you'll go 2nd fret on the A to the 3rd fret. And you'll end it by going, you're still holding the 1st fret there on the B, pick the B string, open G, open high E. So from that A note, so the whole thing. So you're going to do this 4 times. But this 4th time here, you're going to stop on the open A string. So you're going to just stop right there. So all together. So a lot bigger challenge than earlier in the song. And then we have a lot more simple arpeggiated picking part, which looks like this. So that starts with just the 3rd fret there on the low E, then the open D, and the open G, and then back to the open D. So it's that same pattern we're going to do on each one. We're just going to change the bass note for each one. So those are the first, that's the pattern played once. And now we're going to go over to playing the 3rd fret there on the A, and the 2nd fret there on the D, and the open G. So those are the 3 strings we're going to do that pattern on now. So instead of starting it on the 6th string with the bass note, the bass note's on the 5th string, the A string, and then still picking to the D, open G, back to the D. Now from there, it's pretty simple. We're just going to move the note up on the A string to the 4th fret. You can keep that index finger on the same 2nd fret of the D, and the open G still, same picking pattern. And then back to the previous chord, same picking pattern as well. So we have this. And then do all that 4 times. All right, so that takes us to the last chorus section where the band's, full band's kicking in again. Now this one's played a little bit different than the other choruses. This one's a little bit extended, so it looks like this. So it's very similar to the first chorus sections, except it's just a little bit longer. So it's all the same all the way. That riff done 3 times, and then when it goes to this, so when it goes down to that F, instead of just resolving it straight to this C, it doesn't do that. It kind of does extends the chorus. So from that F, it's going to jump up here and go to that, which was the 3rd chord in the chord progression for the chorus, and then back down to basically the 2nd half of the chorus progression. And then it does the chorus progression one more time, kind of with. And then from there, it goes down to the little F. And finally resolves it on the C. So it's just a little bit of an extra thing they add to it. So all together for the last chorus again. And that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.